Hey guys, welcome to another Link Cable Gaming interview. We've done a couple of these, I know with RA Visuals and Mike from Nerd Cave, and today we've got Ryan from TechSpaceCowboy and his YouTube channel. Came across him a couple weeks ago and have been going through his videos, and I thought it'd be cool to pull in here to kind of interview him and ask him some questions about what he does, what his channel's about, and stuff like that. How's it going?
Good. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I've never been on a podcast
Uh,
interview before,
you're now
so
part of the elite. You get to join us in Link
I
Cable
know
Gaming.
I feel important somehow.
Nice. We'll just jump right into it. So go ahead and tell me about yourself. Tell me about your channel. Let's just give me a quick synopsis of what's going on over at Tech Space Cowboy.
Yeah. I started the channel coming up on a year ago, so October 20th will be my first year of doing YouTube. Um,
Good date. That's
I
my birthday.
bef Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Good timing. The Yeah, I started it like I don't know. I was like a YouTube lurker for a long time. I would watch a lot of tech videos. And over time, I had things I wanted to say, and I'd like go and like leave my little comment on a video, and I wouldn't. Of course, they didn't read it because these big like million subscriber YouTubers.
Right.
And I was like, man, nobody is talking about X thing. I don't know, like whatever. As usually it has something to do with like the marketing side or business side of something because I went to school for business and stuff, and so I was like, maybe I could make my own channel. And with COVID-19 and like everybody being locked at home for a while, I was just so freaking bored. And so, um, yeah, I decided to start this channel after I actually made another channel it wasn't even a tech channel. It was like doing little skits, and I was just recording on my phone and then editing on my phone and uploading.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
yeah, but it was really cringy, so I'm probably not gonna mention what channel it is. And that like it never went over like 50 subscribers. It's like a tiny
Right.
little one. Um, but then when I got more serious, I went and I was like, okay, I'll go buy a camera. And I did like a minor amount of research, and I bought a camera, like a cheaper camera than I have now, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my first tech video was last year on the Apple event for the iPhone 12.
Okay.
I just was like, all right, I'll try recapping that event, and I did that, and from there I just kept making videos. Um, it's been, and then it's become like an unhealthy obsession, really, like where every video I'm like watching myself on camera again, and like, oh man, my lighting sucks, or oh man, I wish I had a nicer camera, or I wish I
Just
didn't
try to
stutter
top
as
it every
much.
time.
Yeah, I used to say a lot, and I don't know if I am. I might be saying it right now a ton and not realizing it. But in my first videos, I would have to go through, and every time I said I'd have to split that out of the video because it was so often that I'd like watch it again. I'm like, I'm gonna delete this if I upload this with all the ums in it. It's just painful. So
Wow.
my early videos have a lot more like cuts because it's just where I would go and then keep talking.
That's pretty
And
good. Well, I
oh
mean,
god.
I started watching a few of your videos from the beginning, kind of. I don't know if I saw the first one, but I've gone through them and kind of saw you've definitely improved just your setup, your overall like presentation of everything. So you're in a good place. It's looking pretty good. You're going up in what 6,000 subscribers now, something
Yep,
like
a
that.
little over 6,000
So
right
that's
now.
pretty
Yeah.
good for a year, I'd say. I mean, you're growing at the right rate there.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
yeah. What about the name? Where does that come from? Tech Space
so
Cowboy.
Well, it's actually that's funny. So like the name wasn't always Tech Space Cowboy. I didn't even have that name locked down until like maybe 6 months ago. I
Okay.
originally started off. I called it Texer Tech because it was just like it was a fake word, and I was like, oh, that nobody will have that taken, and when I can get my YouTube URL, that'll be made
Hmm.
up. Um, and then I changed it again to oh yeah, in one of my early videos, I was reviewing the Xbox Series S. And I was like, what should I call this Xbox when you're naming it? And I was like, Texbox. And I was like, that's a stupid pun. And then I made that my channel name. So I switched from Texer to Texbox. And then I changed it again. I added a the as the Texbox. And then I was still not super satisfied with it. And because I'd already come up with my logo before that. So
Hmm.
the logo I like just made myself completely. I drew it in Procreate on an iPad, and I
Okay.
like I kind of just made it up, and I was like, this is cool. It was originally meant to look like a gear kind of around a circle or around a planet. Gears are techie, so
Yeah.
um, and so I made that logo, and then but the it didn't have anything to do with the channel name. And my wife and I were sitting down and watching. She was making me watch this movie called Space Cowboys.
Hmm.
Um, if anyone's seen it, it's from like, the early 2000s. It's like Clint Eastwood and the dude from Men in Black, like a bunch of like old dudes that like have to go up in space and be astronauts or whatever. But for whatever reason, I was like Space Cowboy, like cowboys kind of do whatever they want, shoot from the hip, and then tech space is like the area that I operate in with the YouTube channel and in my other job. I'm a IT engineer, so um, yeah, so it was like Tech Space Cowboy, and I was like, it's like Space Cowboy with the word tech in it, and I checked and it was free, and I was like, all right, that's it, I'm locking that in.
This is it. We found it.
Um, exactly, and like because the logo already had the orange in it, which looked a little more like a Western-ish color, and the gear ring looks kind of like a lasso around something. I don't know. So I was like, this makes more sense, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense. It makes more sense, and so that's just like the brand kind of just found itself, and
Cool.
now I'm that. Yeah.
I like it. It's a cool name. Yeah, I was telling some of my other friends about your channel and just kind of spreading it around to say, hey, this guy exists. Check him out. And everyone kept saying that they like the name a lot, and your video is just overall pretty good. So the logo
Sweet.
helped,
Thank
and
you.
so did the name. So there you go. So you
Yeah.
mentioned that this isn't your day job right now, being like a full time YouTuber. You're working out in the working for the man
Oh.
still.
Oh
but
yeah. Oh yeah.
so is it your dream to be a full time YouTuber, or would you, let's say things took off, would you quit the day job and become the YouTube guy, or what do you think?
My day job would have to get pretty bad. I really like my day job. I've got a great boss. I've got awesome coworkers. I don't have to work like grueling hours or anything like that. I'm work from home, so
Okay, yeah.
even if say YouTube took off and I was making like $1 million a year, unless my day job got bad, I'd probably keep it. Because like there's insurance and like retirement benefits, and like I said, I
Fair,
love all my
fair.
coworkers. Um, but I don't, there's another YouTuber, Dave 2D. I don't know if any of
Yep.
you follow. Yeah.
I
So
watch him a
he
lot.
also, yeah, he has a day job too, or at least he did up until at least a year ago. I don't know if he still does his
Yeah,
day
he's
job,
taken
but
off, so I don't know. He's
yeah, I mean, he's like
getting
three,
pretty
4 million
hardcore.
subscribers.
Yeah.
He's got all those subs, and he doesn't. I mean, he still works. So, and I think part of it is just like I don't. YouTube is still like young enough as a career that like we're not sure how stable it
Right.
would be as a career.
Yeah, I
So
always wonder that some of these big time stuff, like what happens in 5 years, like, all right, you have no job, you haven't worked really in 5 years.
yeah,
What happens now when no one's using YouTube? I don't know.
right.
Who
Well, you
knows?
think about like the skill set. So like I could apply to be like a tech reviewer, I guess, or I could
Yeah,
like work in like lighting, if
there
I'm
you
getting
go.
really good with the camera stuff. But it's like I don't none of that stuff has to do with like what I do here really. I mean
Right.
it's different. So I also like it not being like YouTube isn't my source of income.
Hmm.
So I can just say no to
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I
yeah.
could like I've had a few people reach out and say, "Hey, will you review this product?" And I'm like, "That would be a boring video. I'm not going to do it."
That's
Like
good. Yeah, you're still having fun with it. You're not, it hasn't
yeah.
become monotonous and like I don't want to. So I get that.
Exactly. Yeah,
Understand.
exactly. And I've had a few of those moments where like you don't want to make another video. I'm like, "God, I don't want to do another review. Like that new product came out. Like I don't know, like the Surface Duo 2 now it came out, but like I don't really want to review it. And like I'm at a point where I don't have to. It's whatever I want. I'm a
Yeah,
cowboy. I do
this
what
is
I
true.
want. Like it's like
There you go. By
so
definition, you just do what you want.
yeah. And ever since I adopted that mentality, the videos have gotten so much better. There was like a middle period where I watched some of my videos. I'm like, man, I can tell that I'm not as into this as I want to be because this is what I do for fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I'm not having fun, there's no point. Like
Yeah. If
so,
you're not passionate about it, it just turns into like a chore, and I get you there.
yeah,
It's like me
exactly.
trying to mow the lawn. Like, I just don't care. I'm just trying to get this done as fast as I can so I can get back inside and play a game.
Right. Yeah, your lines are all like not
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah. My neighbors are all like retired older people who do nothing but mow the lawn. So they love watching the millennial try to take care of a house and
Yeah.
fail at all. So it's usually how my life goes. Anyways, so what challenges have you had starting the YouTube channel? So you said you've kind of had a little experience in the past with different names and starting out. Um, what was your, let's say, the biggest challenge right off the bat?
Oh man. Just like the overwhelming, I guess the biggest challenge starting a YouTube channel is just like the overwhelming what do I do? Like,
Hmm.
okay, so I want to start a YouTube channel. You go and you look at some of these big YouTubers. They've got like a super nice thumbnail. They have an awesome title. Their
Yep.
editing's on point. They have like an expensive camera. Their lighting's like really good. They're well scripted. They have everything
Hmm.
planned out. You listen through what they're saying, and it's like, how do you get to that point? And like I said, if anybody watches my first video, I thought I had planned everything out. I was like, yeah, the lighting looks good, the camera's not, and like I go back and watch it now, I was like, no, it was terrible. But like if I hadn't just done something, right, just do the next step of what you need to do. So like the first thing I did was like, all right, if I want to be on YouTube, I need to record, so I need a camera.
Hmm.
So I did some research. I got a camera, like a cheaper one. I got a Canon M50 back then. And okay, so now I need to record myself. So I like set it up and I like looked at the footage and was like, well, why does it look terrible? And then I was like, oh, well, lighting. And I like, I had to start researching like, well, what is good lighting? And another YouTube friend of mine, the channel's called The Next Upgrade. I don't know if he's posted recently, but he taught me about 3-point lighting, which
Hmm.
is like a stage type of lighting. You have a really nice, big, bright fill light, and then you have like one of these is called a rim light that shoots behind you and gives you kind of this like halo effect around you, and then a fill light to kind of fill in the shadows on your face. And so I like learned about that, and I started buying different types of lighting setups and tried to do it cheaper. And eventually, though, I mean, I filmed the first video without any of that. I just had the camera, and that was it.
Okay.
And you like start filming and then you have to go to editing and you crop things out and you kind of just you have to put something out there. You have to put a video out there to know like what is hard about it. Where do I need to improve?
Right.
Because the first few videos I mean I edited them on I had an iPad at the time. I just like found an app, you know. A lot of people think like the equipment will come first. Like, okay, I gotta buy a camera and buy
Yeah.
a Mac and buy, Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere and do all this editing stuff. And it's like none of that should come first because you won't know. You'll get that stuff in front of you and you'll have no clue where to go. Like all the camera settings will confuse you.
Right.
You won't know how to edit. Like start
Definitely a
off
lot of
with like what you
confusion.
can do. Yeah, yeah. I mean, start off like if you have an iPhone, you have an Android phone, like start with that, record, and then find an app to edit, and you'll find out where you want to improve your videos because you'll start editing something, and you'll be like, I wish I could do this, and I can't in this app, and then you'll know like, oh, that's what an advanced app would give me the ability to do. Versus you get to that advanced app, and you're like, I can do a whole bunch of stuff. I have no idea what to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
It,
okay, you kind of touched on this in the beginning, but I was going to ask about your videos about making like your own art. So you said you made the logo yourself. What about your transition videos and like I saw your intro, you have like the thing firing a laser and other stuff I've seen. Like, did you make those yourself, or if you bought them, or what did you do?
yeah, no, I have a friend, and I'm gonna say his name, Gavin Folgert. He does motion graphic designs. He's really good. He has a YouTube channel, I think, but he doesn't post on it. But he does motion design professionally.
Okay.
And so I paid him to do it. I think in one of my videos, I even said that when I put the first graphic in, I was like, yeah, I have a new graphic intro and stuff. By the way, I paid my friend for that. I didn't ask it for free.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I paid him, it was a few $100 for the intro and outro. He did all of it. He did I just gave him the logo and he's like, what are you looking for? And I was like, I don't know, something simple and flat. And I'm like, I'm into Star Wars. And I was like, but it's a tech video, and so he's like, all right, I'll figure something out. And he thought that whole idea of the logo intro and outro, and I was like, dude, this is so
Yeah, it
good.
looks
Like,
great. I was pretty impressed. Yeah, for
yeah,
for all of our, I don't know if you've seen the beginning of our podcasts, or it'll be at the beginning of this video, so when it's all done, you'll see it. But we have an intro, outro, and even the background during our thing is a moving thing. I got them on Fiverr, so I uh,
nice.
I just randomly asked some person on there who did not speak great English, and they did an incredible job, and it was like $15. And I just keep going back to them every time we need stuff. But I've talked to
Nice.
some of the other people I've talked to. They do their own transitions in some videos, and I don't know how you guys can figure these things out. It's pretty
Oh yeah.
complicated. So yeah, I'm on the same page with trying to either find friends to help do them or purchase them or whatever, because it is tough.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like a big one. I mean, if you
oh
can
yeah.
learn motion, that's cool. Like I know a lot of people will pay for editing. Like they'll
Mhm.
pay somebody, they'll do all the filming, they'll pay someone else to edit. I'm like, once a week, I'm not letting somebody else edit my
Yeah, no
videos. Like
kidding. That's
what's a
it's gonna
skill
add
set
up
I want to
there.
develop? Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you got to figure out too, like what skill sets do I want to gain as I do
Mm-hmm.
this, versus what ones are not worth the time. Like for me,
Right.
for an intro and outro, it is not worth the time for me to try and learn how to do all that, and it won't look as good, and it'll cost me just as much. Like
Right. I agree.
that's where it's worth contracting out. But yeah, editing though is something I think, especially newer YouTubers,
Mm-hmm.
until you're making enough money on YouTube to pay an editor, and
Just do it
even like
yourself.
yeah, do it yourself. I mean, big editors like Mkbhd is a good one. He edits his own videos still. He has a crew of 9 people, and he still
Jeez.
is the one editing because he just likes that creative control over it.
Yeah,
So
I get that. I
yeah.
get that. Okay, what about the I don't know the right word. I don't want to say talk, but I don't know what the right word is. But do you have a script for everything? So the your talking points. I don't know what the word is. The voiceover. I don't know. But
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
do
Yeah,
you
a
do
lot
you
of people
write
call it
those?
the script.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Do you write your own stuff? Do you wing it? How does that work for you for your videos?
So I've tried, and that's where I've tried everything to figure out what works for me.
Okay.
Most YouTubers, I think, write a script down, and then
Hmm.
I don't know if they read off a prompter or they. I tried a script where
Okay.
I'd like have it on my phone, and I would like read like, and then I'd read it, and then I'd be like, okay, and then blah blah blah, and then blah blah blah. But that like you just don't get an energy out of it. Like the energy I'm looking for, at least, you don't get out of doing it that way.
Hmm.
So for a while, I would write bullet points. Like
Okay.
if I'm reviewing a phone, I'll write down like screen, camera, battery, processor. Like I'll just okay, and then I have to like okay. So I'd read my phone and say, "Oh, screen. All right, now I'm going to talk about the screen." And then I just start talking about how its display is different. Camera. Okay, now I'll talk about the camera.
Hmm.
Lately, I haven't even done that. Lately, I've just used a product for like a week or whatever it
Just
is,
talked
and then
about it.
I just like set up the camera, I set up the lighting. It takes me probably 10, 15 minutes to set up properly. And then I just start recording and I'll be like, okay, so, and then I'll just start saying whatever comes
Yeah, I mean
into my
your videos
mind.
are very natural, which I enjoy, and I know I'm sure a lot of the people watching do that because I kind of feel like you, whereas as soon as I become scripted too much, I can't talk. I have nothing to say. So like I've been doing probably over 100 episodes of podcasts over the last 5 years, and to me, I can have a conversation with someone, talk about it, but then the minute I have a script in front of me to talk about what I already know, I'm like, the game was fun. I had 4 hours into it, and I bought it for a nick. Like it just, I
Yeah.
can't do it well. But you do a pretty good job. It's definitely got to be charismatic, a little courageous to get in front of the camera and just start free talking. But
Well, I'm on like 80 something videos now, and a few of them I've deleted that I was like, this is nothing new. This
yeah,
is
yeah,
bad. But yeah, the more you do it, the more you're also aware of like if I so like for example, I did an iPhone unboxing video recently, where I unboxed the new iPhone and just kind of said my thoughts off the cuff. And
hmm
I made sure that whenever I said something about a statistic about it, like oh, it's got the new whatever processor, I would bring in like a or whatever at the end. So oh, it's got the A15 processor or whatever, like just so that if I'm wrong, you
yeah.
know that
No one's
I'm
gonna
not saying
attack
that
you.
as a fact. Yeah, because people in the comments will tear
Oh
you a new
yeah,
one. They'll be like, actually, it's got 4 GPU cores, not 5, idiot. Like,
yeah.
you're
I
right. You're not wrong.
we've got a
Like,
couple videos that we've uploaded where, and it was an opinion. It was the very beginning of us kind of starting this channel out to figure stuff out for what we were gonna do, and we did like the tier ranking videos and comments people would leave us, and this is just our opinion on it was the top RPGs, and people are tearing us a new one in the comments. I'm like, what are we doing here?
yeah.
Like, we obviously keep saying we don't know what we're talking about while we're doing it. It's supposed to be comical, and people get nasty. So gotta have thick skin
Oh,
anytime you put
yeah.
anything on YouTube.
And it's all opinions too. Like I remember the first downvote I got, or the first thumbs down, was like maybe a month into my channel. I was like, oh my god, I should delete that video. Like I should just give up on YouTube.
Oh,
Like, and
this is the
you're like,
end.
you're gonna get downvote. Like
Yeah.
some videos you might get like 3 or 4 people disliking it, and only like 5 people. Like you're fine. Just keep making. Try and do better next time. Leave the video up.
Yep.
Do not take it down. Like the only ones I've taken down are because I'm like, oh, I don't really. That's not what my channel's about. It's never
Right.
because somebody told me that I was. Oh, and I took one down because I put a lot of bad facts out in it. I didn't do enough research beforehand, and I was like, damn,
Yeah.
I'm like fake news over here. I can't just be saying all this stuff and then posting it to the internet. I'm part of the problem
That's
now.
oh god, that's too funny. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on, I'll look at my notes. I'm losing it. How much time does it take, would you say, from the minute you think of a video to the minute you post it? Like, how much time on average? I'm sure it depends on the products and what you're gonna do. So, let's say tomorrow
Yeah.
we're gonna do a review on a, a new controller for the Xbox that's coming out. Like, how long would you think from the minute you think of it to the minute you post it would take you?
I'd probably say an average of a week, but
Okay.
like a huge standard deviation in there, right? So like, um, so this product I just reviewed today, it's like a gamepad for an iPhone. I bought this a week ago. I filmed today, and it won't post for at least a week.
Okay.
I filmed just the A roll today.
Okay.
So that A roll for anyone watching is the me talking to the camera about what I think, and then B roll would be any clips that go over that are like of the product to enhance what I'm saying. So yeah, I filmed the A roll today. And then over the next week, like after work or here and there, I'll just film some B roll. I'll turn the lights on and film me like holding it, or film like a shot panning around it or something like that. So that'll take 2 weeks. But some videos, I buy a product, one that I probably already have a lot of opinions on. I'll open it, I'll use it for like an hour or two. I will film all the B roll while I'm using it, and then I'll sit down, record the A roll, and like in that same day, I'm like, all right, here's the iPad Air, and here's what I think about it, and then I'll go return it right away to Best Buy or wherever I bought it for, so I don't have to pay any. Like I don't, because a lot of these products I don't end up keeping, and so I just
Right.
return it, and then I'll get my money back, and then I'll do all the editing, and like the next day or two, it'll be up.
Okay, that's cool.
Most of the time, it's like somewhere in between. So some of them are like really urgent, like that. If it's a product I'm keeping, like this controller thing here, I'm keeping. Then yeah, the video I take a lot longer. I'll take a whole week or two with it just to get an idea for the product. Because the longer I spend with it, the more I'm like, wow, if I would have filmed a week ago, I would not have mentioned this aspect that
Right.
was actually really important to the review.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, actually, is that the Razer Kishi or whatever it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yes
have
it
one of those
is.
too. I
This is
really
a
like it. It
great
works pretty
product.
good.
I
I'm
agree.
excited to
Yeah,
see your video on that because I've got a lot of thoughts on that myself.
I know. Might get delayed because the OLED switch, but
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's
yeah,
fair. I'm writing a review on that for our website, so I'm pretty excited to we'll have to compare what we think about it.
I know. Interesting.
This is a good transition because the next question would be what are your favorite items to review first? So like, do you like hardware? Do you like sticking just with that? Do you want to get more into video games? What do you like to do? What do you want to do in the future? What are
Oh
your
yeah,
thoughts?
so I consider my channel like a tech review channel, so it'd be all tech. Gaming happens to be just super popular, and I think more than most of my subscribers like gaming tech, so
Hmm.
I gravitate towards that, and it's really fun to review. Like if I'm pulling, like I did one on the Surface Duo that I was like, man, this is like a business product. It's just not as fun for me to go into it,
Right.
and not as many people watched it, so it's like it's just not nobody cared that much, but.
Yeah.
I like hardware. Gaming hardware is by far my favorite stuff to review. But I also like I'm an Apple guy. I'm on a MacBook Air right now. I have an iPhone. I have had plenty of Android phones as my daily phone, but like iPhone's my current one. And so whenever I buy a new Apple product that I know I'm going to keep, like the iPhone 13, I like to review that. So I'll do a lot of videos on that. The video I think I uploaded today was, iPhone 13 gaming. Like I'll probably do another one that's comparing gaming on the iPhone 13 to gaming on the Nintendo Switch Lite, because
That's a good idea.
my viewers love the Switch Lite. I don't know why.
I love
That's
the
like
Switch Lite, so
it's a great product. It is. I don't,
and
but for
I'm telling
whatever
you,
reason,
if you get
it
the
does
Switch
far
Lite, you
better.
get the carrying case, you get the grip with it. It's the best thing you can ever have.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I know. Yeah, one. So like, I have 3 Switch Lite videos out there. I think they're my top 3 videos. Like they're
Really?
one of them's got like 130,000 views or something like that. It's
Wow.
huge compared to
That's
the rest of mine.
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Dang. Do you listen to any podcasts or follow other YouTubers or streamers? Or you've mentioned a couple here. So who are your like top favorite people in the
Oh
between
yeah.
the online streaming, recording, videos type of industry? Like who do you gravitate towards?
Yeah, so on YouTube, one of my favorite ones is Mkbhd. Super easy to recommend. He makes like probably the gold standard top tier tech videos. And when I actually started my channel, I tried to model after his style, and that's how
Hmm.
I kind of found my own style. And I think anybody starting a new channel should try that. Like find somebody you like and try to make it as close to their style of video, and then you'll find your own voice in there. But so Mkbhd, Dave 2D is a good one. Lou Later is a podcast / YouTube channel. That's Lou from Unbox Therapy, if anyone watches that. Gus and Eddie is a podcast. If anyone's seen that, it's like Gus Johnson. He's a comedy YouTuber. Hilarious podcast. Those two are just fun.
Nice. Yeah, you gotta. There's so many people to even choose from, because if someone asks me this question, I know how difficult it is. So it's like throwing it right at you. But it's a very big difference from like 15 years ago. If someone asked me this question, I would have thought like there's like 3 people that existed to today, where there's just so many people out there. Like, well, I work from home also, and I have a TV above my monitors, and I just watch someone random every morning in a random game. So it's like it's crazy what the world's turning to with streaming and like YouTubers and stuff taking over for entertainment.
Yeah, streaming is like, I don't watch stream often. I mean, I have a friend at work he used to be at work, that just started game streaming, and that's like, with YouTube, like, it's hard because with YouTube that you want to do something that you think people are searching for, right? Mm-hmm. And like game streaming, a ton of people are searching for.
Right.
So it's like you'd think that's a good idea, but also a ton of people are game streaming. So like there's really high demand for games, but there's also really high supply.
Yeah, there's tons of people doing it.
Yeah. So if you can find something that people have a lot of demand for but not as much supply, then you get you just get more engaged. People look at your stuff. So for example, I think that's why Switch Lite did well. Yeah, a lot of people talk about not many people make good videos on the Nintendo Switch Lite, but a lot of people want to know about them before they go buy one, because a lot of people that are like looking at a video about the Switch Lite they're like, yo, $200 is a lot of money to me. I need to know that this is worth it.
Right.
So another one I did was, if you ever watch YouTube, I'm sure somebody has advertised Raycons earbuds.
Yeah, I've seen those before too.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, man, I see a lot of sponsored stuff for Raycons, not a single honest review on them. So I bought a pair and did a review, and I titled it Honest Review, Not Sponsored. And that has gotten a ton of engagement, because I'm sure a lot of people see that ad and then they go, okay, let me look up Raycons and see if they're actually legit. And then they find my review. And I've gotten at least 20 comments saying, I was going to buy these and I saw your video and now I'm not going to buy them.
Now I'm trying something else.
Yeah, they're like, nah, like your video convinced me. And then I see other people that were like, I bought these and I wish I would have watched this video first, because these actually are not as good as they advertise.
Oh, jeez, that's too funny.
And it's like, yeah, I don't rip on Raycons in the video. Like, they do a few things really well, but
hey, it's your honest opinion. It's your channel. You can say what you want. It's obviously helped some people. So I mean, I
try to not just like crap on one product. Like if I will say something good if something is good, even if I don't like the product.
But people like you that exist out there, it's good, because like, I'm trying to think of something I bought recently that I've looked up, but anytime I'm making a decently bigger purchase, I'll go online and Google it and just say, hey, is this worth it? And, you'll get the 4 videos that are sponsored that they just have to say great things about it. But then there's, 5 or 15 other ones that'll say, yeah, really, this one sucks. Just go get the regular one at Walmart. It works just as good, if not better, stuff like that. So it's good people like you exist that aren't doing it for the cash. So
yeah,
it's helpful. We appreciate.
I'm hoping I can keep that as I go forward. Yeah.
Until you get bought out by YouTube and you're like, I love Raycons. They're my favorite.
I love Raycons. Don't worry about that previous video.
Oh yeah, I don't know what happened there. Anyways, back to the gaming side with your Switch Lite and stuff. So you do play video games and you're a bit of a gamer. What consoles do you have right now for gaming? What are you playing on?
Well, got the Switch Lite OLED, the Switch OLED on order. I have a Switch Lite. Of course, I have my phone, if you count that. I have I have a custom gaming PC I built with it's just got a NVIDIA GTX 1660, so I'm not like doing ray tracing. I used to have an Oculus Quest, and I sold it because I wasn't using it much, and I'm waiting for whatever the next gen is of that.
You have the Quest 1 or the Quest 2?
I had both. I think I reviewed the 2.
Okay,
I know I've had
seeing
both.
You had a video for one. I don't remember what it was for. You're gonna miss out on Resident Evil 4 in VR now. It's like the
I
one
know.
thing I'm excited to play on my Oculus Quest.
And there's, I mean, like, so I was playing Half-Life Alyx on that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, what, like that experience of that game
But
is just
there's
next
nothing
tier.
else like it is the problem. It's like as soon as you're done
No.
with that, then you're just playing games that are okay. Like
Oh
it's
yeah. Well,
a
I was playing it in our living room, and I had it so it would play on my computer monitor as well, so my wife can see what I'm seeing.
yep.
And she's like, because I'm like screaming, right? Like there's like some terrifying. She's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Just look at the monitor." And she's like, "Yeah, you're in like a dark room." And I'm like, "No, but it's like actually dark for me." And
It's
I'm like
scary in
holding up a
here.
flashlight, and there's this weird little face hugger thing. And I was
Oh
like, "This is
god.
truly scary. Like you don't get it." Like,
Right.
but it was. I loved that it gave me that experience. Like I was laughing as I was like terrified because I was like, I can't believe that this tech is making me actually feel like I'm about to fight this alien face hugger thing is like so cool. So no, that game was amazing. And anyway, but back to the
Yeah.
systems. No, yeah, I had a Quest. I sold that one. I'll get a new one whenever the next one comes
Yeah.
out for sure. I have a PS5 digital edition. I have an Xbox Series S.
Okay.
Um, technically, if you want to be technical, I have a Game Boy, like an OG
Oh,
Game
there you
Boy,
go.
Game Boy Advance SP. And then I have the Stadia controller too.
Yeah.
Um,
I have that.
but that's it.
I'm a little disappointed in that, but that's for another time.
Yeah,
uh,
Stadia is like,
it's
I'm glad it exists,
I'm
but
glad
it's
it
not for
exists.
me.
I just yeah, exactly. I had fun with it for a little while. It was okay. I wish I didn't
Yeah.
pay so much because I have like the launch edition and I was all excited
Oh
about it, but
yeah, you got
spent too
the
much
the
money in it.
dark blue
Yeah,
controller with the. Ooh, that's
yeah.
my favorite. That
I
such a
mean, it
good
looks
looking
really
controller.
nice here since nobody else seems to care about it, but you know.
Oh, I care.
I have it
Yeah.
hanging on the wall here. I think it looks badass, the orange.
Oh God, that looks so good.
I wish
Yeah,
I could use it for other things. It's a nice controller, but I don't
I know.
like
I
what am I
got
gonna do
I
with
got
it?
the white
The
one
white
here,
one. Yeah, I
and it's
like
like
that
I don't even.
your color scheme of orange is a lot like mine. Like I have orange everything in my office. I used to have an orange DX Racer, but I broke that, so had to downgrade a little bit.
Orange is a good color. I actually chose orange. I'm in the Army Reserves and I'm in the Signal Corps, and that's the color of that branch of the Army
Okay.
is
Well, there you
orange.
go.
So that's how I picked it. It was just like a random like what has to do with that. So,
There you go. Worked out. All right,
yeah.
with all these gaming consoles, what are you playing right now? What are your current go-to games?
Well, I play Rocket League probably every day. I'm not that good at it. I wish I was better. I'm like a high platinum, which anyone play. It means I'm the most average, mediocre player there is, pretty much. I play that. I've been playing Call of Duty Mobile on my iPhone now that I have that Razer thing, and shockingly is really fun. I'm not even a big Call of Duty fan, but it's like one of the few games that works really well on the phone.
Okay, you know I've not tried that with the controller the adapter. I'd never even thought about that game.
Oh, it's OP. If anybody that doesn't have the controller, like you just because they can't aim as well as
Right, playing with
stuff.
the
So
touch
like,
controls.
oh yeah, the touch controls are horrible. But yeah, if you play COD Mobile with the Razer controller, like you will be better at the game. That's something I said in my review of it too. I was like, this is gonna you'll win if you buy this thing. It's like cheat codes. Like,
Yeah, I've been using mine on my phone and doing game streaming from my PS4 to my phone with it. And that's been because I've been playing
oh,
Persona 5 on my PS4 and I like to play in bed on my phone and it works great. I've been
is there lag with that?
not
Is there like,
if you play like a game that's like a shooter or something, there might be, but like on an RPG like Persona 5, it's slow paced and stuff, it works perfect. Like I and there's a certain app you can get that this guy created that's not from Sony that you use. It was like $3. Works perfect and it works so good with that controller adapter. It's pretty
really?
badass. Yeah.
I need to try it. So that's something I need. I need to try that, and then the Xbox Game Pass or whatever, where they're. It's just things I haven't ever tried. I've never really wanted to do console gaming mobily, like enough to like go through the initial setup of it.
It's certain games I think there's a good like reason for it to exist because some of the games I'm like yeah I'm not gonna sit and play like Halo on my phone on my deck or something, but there's been a few games that are like slower pace, like especially with Game Pass. There's a lot of like RPGs that it's like turn based. So I'm like, well, if it's laggy even a little bit, it doesn't really bother you because you're choosing things in a menu
Right.
most of the time. So But yeah,
Yeah.
it works pretty good with that. I'm impressed.
Yeah, with
So no,
I
sorry.
was just gonna say with Rocket League, the input lag
Oh,
is
that's
super
that's critical.
important. Like,
That
yeah,
would kill
it's
you.
like more so than in a shooter. Input lag in Rocket League is like the absolute like most important thing of the game. So,
Yeah, that would kill you. So what's your favorite game? It's kind of like the big question I ask a lot of our interviewees. What's your favorite game? If you could just pick one game forever and that's when you're playing, what is it?
oh man, I mean Rocket League would be the easy answer, but I feel like a more interesting answer is warranted here. God, that's a hard one. I have like a guilty pleasure of this PS2 game, Jack 2. If anyone's ever played the Jack and Daxter
That
games,
is a
Jack 2
great
is
game,
like it's a phenomenal game. Open world,
but
sci-fi,
not Jack
like
3. You only like Jack 2.
I like Jack 3 too, but like Jack 2 hits like a different level with me. I think it was just like I was like 8 years old when it came out and or something like that. I was really young and I was really into it when it but I always go back and I'll play through. It's just a fun game.
That is a good
Um
game. Yeah, I
trying
loved
to
all
think
the
of a more
Jack
modern
games. The Jack
game.
X, the racing one on PS2. Did you play that?
Yeah, it was a
Yep,
fun racing game.
that was a good game.
And they made one or two after. I think they made one after that that was not good. They like the physics. There's like a Jack. There's a fifth Jack one, and another company bought it, so it wasn't
Yeah,
Insomniac anymore, and it was the physics were all messed up in the jumping, and so it just didn't feel like a Jack and Daxter game. And yeah, I remember that. I couldn't pick another. I'm trying to think of a more modern game. Like Rocket League is literally like every day, but like I almost don't consider esports to be normal video games. They're
it's
like their own class of thing.
it's crazy how many people I talk to like doing these interviews that love Rocket League. Like all three of I've this year my third person, and all three of them had said Rocket League is a big part of their life. So, and I play that game and it's like it's okay, I have a good time, but I don't play it that much. But I have friends that play that daily, and you're another one I'm adding to the list. So I think
Yeah,
I'm missing out there.
well with Rocket League, the thing is one, it's free to play now. And you literally never will have to spend a dollar in there. You won't have to watch an ad. You can play
Right.
that game forever for free. People like I've got almost 1,000 hours in it,
Oh my god.
and you play. No, I don't have 1,000 hours. I think I'm like a level 1,000. I don't know. I have a lot of hours though, and it's there's no skill ceiling really. Like
Yeah.
the people who are the best in the game are like making tons of money off of it because they're either pro players or they're YouTube content creators. And so like, and the ones that I follow have 2 or 3 million subscribers at
Mhm.
least, and they just make money to play Rocket League in different ways.
Damn, that's
But
crazy.
like I'm really bad at it. I've been playing it for 3 years and I like practice sometimes. But like people that like it's like a sport where you can just get better and better. And I think that's why people obsess over it. The way you like play soccer or
Mhm.
football or American football or whatever. You just like if you practice at Rocket League, you can get better at it, and like
Yeah,
it will
maybe that's what
actually.
I got to do because I'm trash. What do you play
Yeah,
Rocket League on? Your PC usually, or your?
right now I'm playing on my PS5.
Okay.
My wife has temporarily commandeered my gaming PC for she does photography, and we're waiting for the new Macs to come out so I can give her
Mm.
my MacBook Air here, and then I can get a new Mac, and then I can have my gaming PC back.
Oh, that's how that works. Your
But
wife gets the old stuff, and you get the new stuff.
yeah,
I mean,
she
that's how
doesn't
it works
mind
in
it.
my
She's like, yeah,
household too.
free computers, right? Like
That's how
I'll
my
take
wife
it.
is. I'm like, oh, there's a new iPad Mini. Do you want mine? And then I get the new one. She's like, yeah, that's perfect. I'm like, oh, you're the best. This is why I married you. Good. All
I
right. Oh, did you say something else?
I was gonna say I recently like we just got my wife the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and I convinced her to get it because Verizon was doing a deal where they were gonna give her $800 for her iPhone 11
Oh,
towards a
jeez.
third. And I was like, "Hun, we didn't even pay that much for the phone originally. Like, we have to do it. Like,
This
I get
is
we're
the
paying
best.
some more money, but like, it's a free phone, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like, yeah,
Dang. Wow. Yeah. I'm lost my list again. Oh, yeah, that was the last question. I forgot the big one. But from you, what are where can people find you? What are your socials and everything that? Where do you want to be reached? How can we find you?
Uh, well, you got youtube.com/TechSpaceCowboy. It's me. I technically have an Instagram and a Twitter. I think both of them are at TechSpaceCowboy. So super simple. That's about it. I don't really post on Twitter or Instagram a lot. I'm not super into any. I'm like very not on social media as much as I could be. If I had more followers, maybe I'd post more. I mean, it's kind of like a self-sustaining problem. If I don't post, no one's gonna follow me. If I don't
Well,
have
this is your
followers, I'm not
chance.
gonna
Link
post.
Cable Gaming is going to shoot you to the top here, so
There you go.
get
Yeah,
ready for
all
those
the
followers to start coming in
number
now.
one on trending.
Yeah, you watch. Oh gosh. Well, Ryan, thank you for joining us on our little interview here. This was a good time, and it was cool to get to know a little bit about your channel and yourself. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you much. And I will be putting up a little article on our website and sharing it around. So hopefully it brings you some viewers and maybe vice versa for us too. So a little collaboration there.
Cool, man.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.